Dominate without saying a word. While others are screaming for attention, real power moves in silence. You don't need to bark when you're a lion. You outthink them, you outplay them, and you win calmly. Most people think being loud means being strong. Bullshit. True winners don't chase applause, they engineer results. This is about mastering the game without noise, without stress, and without mercy. Today, I'm giving you the mindset and strategy to outsmart everyone, and they won't even see it coming. Who loses his cool, loses the war. That's not a catchy line. It's the damn truth. If you can't control your emotions, someone else will. The moment you lash out, complain, or overreact, you're no longer in control. You react into them. You've become predictable, weak, and worst of all, easy to manipulate. And let me tell you something, in a world run by killers, manipulators, and closers, if you're easy to manipulate, you're already dead. You want to be powerful? Then start acting like it. A real king doesn't flinch when he hears noise outside the castle. He doesn't scream when things don't go his way. He calculates, he watches, he waits. Because power isn't about shouting louder, it's about being so composed that people fear what you're thinking. Your calmness becomes your weapon. Your silence becomes their stress. You walk into a room and they feel your presence without you saying a damn word. That's dominance. When chaos hits, amateurs panic. Professionals plan. Losers explode under pressure. Winners breathe through it. Because here's the truth no one wants to hear. The world is chaos. Business is war. Life is pressure. You will be tested. You will be provoked. And if you don't have emotional discipline, you will fold. Every time. Now let me ask you, how many times have you let your temper cost you an opportunity? How many times have you said something in anger only to regret it later? That's weakness. That's emotional debt. And you keep paying interest on it every time you let someone else pull your strings. Silence is power. Poise is power. When you walk into negotiations and say less, you own the space. When someone disrespects you and you don't flinch, you dominate their mind. They're expecting you to bark back. When you don't, it shakes them. They don't know what's coming next, and that fear is leverage. It's how kings move. Control is not about pretending to be calm. It's about becoming calm through discipline, through training, through ruthless self-respect. When you develop that internal steel, nothing outside can rattle you. People talk, criticize, attack, and you just keep moving. Let them waste energy. Let them show their cards. You're busy building your empire. So next time someone tries to bait you, remember this. Lions don't respond to barking dogs. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to prove anything. You need to win. And the man who keeps his head while others are losing theirs, that's the man who writes the history books. Stay calm, stay sharp, stay dangerous. The less you speak, the more they reveal. Understand this. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. In a world full of noise, the one who listens holds the power. While others are bragging, explaining, and trying to prove how much they know, you're quietly absorbing every detail, every slip up, every tell. When you speak less, you create space. Space for others to reveal their egos, their fears, their plans, and they will. Because most people can't handle silence. They rush to fill it with talk, and in doing so, they expose themselves. That's when you strike, not with volume, but with precision. You don't need to be the loudest in the room. In fact, the loudest is usually the weakest. It's the one trying to convince the world of his value instead of proving it. You don't have time for that. You build your edge in the shadows. You observe, read between the lines, and gather 10 times the information anyone realizes. Every room you enter is a battlefield. and your intelligence is your weapon. The more you know, the more leverage you have. And when you know more than you speak, you hold the cards without ever showing your hand. Think like a grandmaster in chess. The real game isn't on the surface. It's 10 moves ahead, invisible to the untrained eye. While others play checkers and chase attention, you're planning outcomes. You know their next step before they take it because you listened, watched, calculated. That's real power. So start applying this today in meetings, in negotiations, in life. Stop feeling the need to prove yourself. Don't overshare. Don't fill the air just to avoid silence. Let others do the talking. Let them feel comfortable. Because while they speak, you're gathering ammunition. And when you do speak, every word will land like a hammer. Every sentence will hit like a sniper shot. Why? Because it's backed by strategy, not ego. And here's the kicker. This approach doesn't just make you smarter. It makes you unpredictable. When people can't read you, they fear you. They don't know what you're thinking, what you know, or what you're planning. That silence becomes your armor. Your calm becomes your chaos. You become the wild card they can't decode. So stay quiet, study hard, execute hard. Know 10x more than you speak. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being impressive. It's about being undeniable. Big winners don't wait for permission. They don't sit around waiting for someone to give them the okay or for circumstances to be perfect. They build the road themselves, carve their own path, and move with precision, not permission. The world is full of dreamers, planners, and wishful thinkers, but the true leaders, the ones who make waves, act when others hesitate. They don't need to ask for approval or for a sign to start. They've already made up their minds. If you're waiting for permission, you're already too late. The world moves fast, and the game is being played while you're still waiting for your moment. The key to outsmarting everyone else is understanding this. Your success doesn't hinge on someone else's decision. It depends on your ability to act now. And not just act, but act decisively. Winners don't second guess themselves. They don't wonder, what if this fails? Or am I doing the right thing? They trust in their preparation and move forward with relentless conviction. You don't need to ask if you're ready. You need to know that you're already ready and that your decision to act will outpace everyone else. To truly outsmart the competition, you have to think and move differently. The masses will wait for a clear sign, a green light, or an invitation to play, but by the time they get around to it, you've already taken the first steps, made the moves, and are 10 steps ahead of them. You're in the game and they're still sitting on the sidelines. Think about it. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you were waiting for someone to validate your move? How many times have you hesitated, unsure of whether it was the right time, while the clock kept ticking and others overtook you? Real power comes from making decisions without needing approval. You need to take control of your actions, your direction, and your future. This doesn't mean being reckless or impulsive. No, it means being calculated, being precise, and moving with such clarity that when you make a decision, there's no doubt in your mind. You don't need someone else to tell you when to move because you already know exactly where you're going. Your focus is so sharp that nothing can distract you from your course. In this world, there's a silent war happening every day, and the battlefield is filled with people who have the potential to win, but they never act because they're paralyzed by the need for permission. They're too afraid to move until they feel absolutely certain that everything is aligned. But in reality, waiting for everything to align perfectly is a trap. There will never be a perfect moment, and the only thing you can control is your ability to act. If you wait, you'll be passed by. You need to take that first step without hesitation, without fear, and without needing anyone's validation. The moment you decide to stop asking for permission and start acting is the moment everything changes. You stop being a follower and you become the leader. The moment you make that shift, you're not just in the game, you're defining the game. And everyone else, they'll be trying to catch up to you, wondering how you manage to outsmart them without even breaking a sweat. So, stop waiting for the green light. You're the one who gets to decide when to go. The rest will follow your lead. When you let people underestimate you, you create the perfect storm for a silent but devastating takeover. It's a strategy so powerful because it plays on the natural tendency of people to make judgments based on surface level assumptions. They'll see you as harmless, weak, or uninformed, and they'll start to feel secure. They'll start to feel like they have the upper hand. It's exactly what you want. In the game of life, especially when it comes to business, power, and influence, perception is everything. People are quick to judge. They look for weaknesses, and they are far more likely to overlook your potential if you don't fit their narrow idea of success. They'll assume you're just another face in the crowd, easily forgettable, easily outpaced. They'll ignore you, underestimate your capabilities, and that's when you strike. This strategy doesn't mean you need to fake being less than you are. It's about controlling how much of yourself you reveal. It's about managing your energy and being selective with your moves. It's about playing the game at your own pace, not on anyone else's terms. The key is to be present, but not to give them too much. Smile more than usual, nod along with conversations, let them talk. When you play along with their assumptions, you stay under the radar. You become invisible, and in that invisibility, you gain an immense advantage. You are underestimated, and that's where the power lies. The danger for them is that while they're busy dismissing you, you're gathering information. You're observing. You're learning. You know their weaknesses, their plans, their blind spots. You're analyzing and preparing for the exact moment to spring into action. You become the wolf in sheep's clothing, waiting for the right moment to pounce, while they remain completely oblivious. The moment of execution, when they finally see your true power, is like a shockwave. They won't believe what hit them. The underdog becomes the king. The quiet one is now the loudest presence in the room. You've been silently plotting and executing in the background. And when the time comes, your moves are precise, calculated, and devastating. They won't be able to react fast enough. They'll try to catch up, but it's too late. You've already won. This tactic of letting people underestimate you is a form of psychological warfare. It messes with their heads. It's the mental equivalent of a sucker punch. They won't see it coming. And when they finally realize their mistake, it's often too late for them to recover. The ego they built around their perception of you has been shattered. Their confidence is crushed. The power dynamic shifts. Without you even having to say a word, nothing is more dangerous than someone who has been underestimated. Someone who is underestimated by design. It's the ultimate power move, because while others are busy tooting their own horns, you've been silently mastering the game. You've been developing the skills, the knowledge, the plans. When the time comes to reveal yourself, it's not just a surprise, it's a takeover. The best part, you don't even need to be boastful. You don't need to rub it in their faces. Just keep moving forward. Keep executing. The results will speak for themselves. The victory will be yours, and they will never forget that they underestimated you. And you won't even have to say a word. Let them regret it, while you silently take control. Impatience is a weakness. It's a mindset that keeps you chained to short-term desires, fleeting pleasures, and immediate gratification. The world is full of people scrambling for fast success, rushing toward quick wins, and looking for shortcuts. But here's the truth. True power doesn't operate on a 24-hour cycle. Real success isn't about what you can achieve today or tomorrow. It's about what you can build over the long haul. The people who outsmart everyone aren't the ones jumping at every shiny object or trying to win small battles. They're the ones with the discipline to keep their eyes on the decade-long prize. While everyone else is chasing quick fame, quick cash, and quick validation, you should be quietly executing on a vision that spans years, even decades. Most people won't have the patience to stick to a plan when they don't see results in the first few weeks, months, or even years. This is where you separate yourself. You commit to your path, you refine your strategy, and you keep working every single day. No distractions, no looking back. Success doesn't come overnight, and those who think it does are the ones who get burnt out or fall short. If you want to outsmart everyone, you need to think long-term. Play the game like a chess master. Every move you make should be calculated, anticipating the outcomes, knowing that the best plays may take years to materialize. And while others are quitting or losing interest, you're still building. You're still moving forward, and every step you take compounds, making your eventual success inevitable. This is the essence of power. It's about consistency. It's about knowing that while the world is obsessed with the next 15 minutes of fame, you're setting yourself up to reign for a lifetime. It's not about starting fast, it's about finishing strong. It's about having the patience to endure when the world around you is impatient. And it's about mastering the long game, silently, persistently, and ruthlessly. People who think in terms of days or weeks can't see what's coming. They can't anticipate the next move. But you're operating on a different level. You understand the importance of time. You understand the power of incremental progress, of every decision, every action, every choice you make now contributing to your future empire. And when that empire is built, when you've reached the apex of your success, everyone will look back and wonder how you did it. The answer? You outsmarted them by having the patience to keep going when everyone else gave up. There's a saying that success is a marathon, not a sprint. But let me tell you something. Most people never even make it to the marathon. They're too impatient, too eager to get a quick result, to keep going when the road gets tough. You want to be different? Think beyond the next year, beyond the next 5 years. Think 10, 20, 30 years down the road. Play the long game. Keep building, keep executing, and let time expose your dominance. The results will come, and they'll come so much stronger, more powerful, and more meaningful than anything you could have achieved by rushing to the finish line. While everyone else is chasing short-term wins, you'll be the one reaping long-term rewards. The longer you stay in the game, the more people will fall off. They won't be able to sustain the pace. But you'll be there, still standing tall, still executing, still winning, silently and relentlessly, because you played the long game, and that's how you outsmart everyone. You don't need to talk when your results scream. This isn't just some catchy line. It's a principle of dominance. People spend way too much time boasting about what they're going to do, trying to get attention for their efforts, posting every minor achievement and waiting for validation. That's noise, that's weakness disguised as confidence. Real power doesn't beg for attention, it commands it without saying a word. The quietest people often hold the most authority, and that's exactly how you need to approach your journey to success. Let's face it, talk is cheap, words are easy. Anyone can say they're going to change the world, but who actually follows through? Who puts in the work day in and day out, even when no one is watching? That is where the real power lies. You don't need to post your every move on social media or tell everyone about your next big step. In fact, it's better if you don't. Let your actions speak louder than any post, any tweet, any selfie. The real masters of this world, the billionaires, the industry leaders, the true titans, don't need a crowd to cheer them on. They don't need the spotlight. They work in the shadows, they execute relentlessly, and they let their success do the talking. People are often too busy talking about themselves, promoting their image, and focusing on short-term validation. You, however, are here for something bigger. You're not here for likes, for attention, or for applause. You're here to build an empire that lasts. That was the beauty of silent success, is that it doesn't need a crowd to validate it. Success, real success, speaks for itself. When you're achieving at a level most people can't even comprehend, your results will make the noise for you. You won't need to convince anyone you're succeeding, you'll just be living proof. And when your success is undeniable, when your empire is solid, and when the dust settles, the world will recognize who truly had the vision and the execution to run the show. They'll see the wealth, the legacy, the impact, and that's when they'll realize you were always in control. Think about the people you admire the most. Do they constantly talk about what they're doing, or do they just show up and make things happen? You know the answer. The most powerful figures are often the ones with the least to prove. They don't need to speak about their power because their results speak louder than any words could. And that's how you need to operate. Stop talking. Focus on doing. Focus on making every move with precision and intent. Each decision, each action should align with your bigger picture. And with each success, you're building a reputation that doesn't need constant self-promotion. Over time, your track record will speak for itself. People will start to notice. Your success will be the loudest sound you make. Success isn't about shouting from the rooftops. It's about delivering results that no one can ignore. When you do this, you earn respect, you earn power, you earn the right to sit at the table with the most influential people. And when that happens, you won't need to say a word. Your results will do all the talking. Remember, lions don't need to announce themselves. They just show up, own the territory, and walk away victorious. Stop trying to prove yourself. Start outsmarting everyone. Calmly, silently, and ruthlessly. Subscribe for more if you're ready to dominate in silence and execute like a killer. No excuses, just the empire.